Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles Weekly Pick'em. I'm your girl, the Gransberry, also known as the Stadium Queen, and I got my boy D Jones on the left
What's
tonight.
popping? What's popping?
And our boy Coach Pat, he was flossing in a new outfit around the city today, so I'm not sure he's available to, entertain us at this moment.
Cool
But
breeze. Cool breeze.
he might be still somewhere taking pictures or in an entanglement, but we'll see how he explains it later. But anyway, we in week 10. 10. How you feel about that?
Man, it's going too fast. It's going too fast. Need to slow down a little bit, but I'm
I
loving it.
would have to agree.
I'm loving it.
You say what now?
I'm loving it, and it's going too fast. So
I would agree on both accounts. I'm loving it, and I do believe it's going a little too fast for me as well. But um, I think after last week, I'm extremely excited. Well, when I say last week, Sunday,
mhm.
I'm extremely excited about. I feel like um, we're seeing some great things in football, period. So, and what I mean by that is people think I'm probably talking about just Houston, which
No,
I'm not. I'm actually talking about overall. I actually want to start the show talking about Dobbs because we all know. Well, if you don't know, I'm really more of a nerd than I am a sporty person. And in my nerd life, I'm an engineer. So for me, I totally love the fact of Dobbs and his mind. And that's what people don't really realize, when we talk about athletes and their athleticism and things of that nature, that he is an incredible mind. And I believe his mind is getting him through 50% of what he has to deal with. And maybe more, but I would
mm,
say at least 50% of it to
mm,
be able to show up and lead a team. Now, obviously, people show up when they're traded or whatever, and they play positions on the team. And there's limited packages. And there still was some limits, of course. But to not take any snaps, to not have any familiarity with the team, and be able to put in the work to make scores, right? It's not like they won 13,
yeah,
to 3. So I just love the fact that a rocket scientist is over there leading the team. And I see him as picking up where Fitzpatrick left off at, like someone who has great work ethic, great mind, and can still throw the rock. And with that, teams will come calling for you. And in this case, teams will keep trading for you.
yeah,
So he's had an amazing 12 months and I hope it keeps going.
yeah. And it was cool because I mean, and to add on everything you said, he didn't even start. So he was the backup in this game. It wasn't until the starter I think he got concussed from a hit, and then he came out. But stay ready. I mean, that's the testament to if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right? So
Exactly.
yeah,
And shout out to, Dak had a good week 9. And and of course we end with other great quarterback in Texas. And Stroud had a great week 9. And
record
by
setting,
now,
record setting,
exceptional week 9 because we already know
one of
it's
one.
a record breaking performance at
Hmm.
that. So, those are my wrap ups. I still haven't seen any celebrations that warrant me moving them. I know you sent me the Duck Duck Goose one, but eh,
No,
eh,
I think at this point it's the Tyreek stomped a yard. That's one. Everything else at this point is two. That's the standard. We looking for number two, and I give Odell. Odell made it to the end zone this week and paid homage to the Baltimore area with the Park City. I think it's Park City strut. So yeah, I gotta show him love just because he got the moves too. So it
He
was so
always
good.
got the moves.
It's flawless. So yeah. So
Well, what about also I found an enjoyable I guess I didn't think about it until now, but Beckham was pretty cool, but the recreation of Wade
that's
and,
the one I sent you.
and
Yeah,
LeBron
yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
Philly. So how
I
you
was about
feel
to
about
bring that
that
one
one?
up too. See, that one is tricky because I watched that game and I saw that celebration, but it didn't translate, on the TV. But when I saw the replay and then they did the steal with the Wade standing there and Brown with the LeBron pose in the background, I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
And
Just
I think that's
because.
the point though, right? Because
Mhm,
in that actual game,
mhm,
it didn't look, it still was a great play, but it
yeah,
didn't look and become as such a memory until we saw the photo,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah,
right.
that's up
So
there for me just because of the steal.
that's definitely top five because that's hard to
Yeah,
recreate because people were making jokes saying he didn't make the alley oop, but when you think about it, with a
he didn't need to.
football, he didn't need to.
It wasn't
He
about
just he just needed to be in the air when his boy had his hands out,
with
and
with
that
the
was
ball like ready to go. So it was about the steal.
right,
It
right,
doesn't really
right.
translate at the time, so I can't give it, up. I can't even give it top three, but I'll put it in the top five just for the creativity of it and the still image. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
yeah.
So, I didn't really give you my get them out the way games.
Didn't I thought about that.
And so you can say them
Yeah,
and
we can
then I
rapid
guess
fire. We can rapid fire. We can
I
rapid
could
fire.
just drop them in.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's do this. So let's get these out the way. So the first one, Carolina and Chicago.
Chicago,
All right, we all pick Chicago, Indy, and New England.
Indy,
Just rapid. Just rapid.
Indy,
We both pick. We both pick Indy. Coach is Solo Dolo, New England, New Orleans, and Minnesota.
Minnesota,
We all pick Minnesota. Green Bay, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
We all pick Pittsburgh. Tennessee at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay,
We are all together with Tampa Bay. Atlanta and Arizona. At Arizona.
at Arizona.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback?
Kyler could be back this week.
Who he throwing to?
Same people Dobbs was throwing to, I guess, before he went.
Oh, uh,
You got Marquise Brown there, Hollywood Brown. That's
I'll
fine.
get Arizona.
All right, I'm Solo Dolo. I pick Atlanta.
Yeah,
Detroit
I
at the
might be
Chargers.
iffy. I'm trying to see what they gonna line up.
I may change if Kyler starts. I may change that. Detroit at the Chargers.
Detroit,
We all pick Detroit. Washington at Seattle.
Washington.
You are Solo Dolo with Washington. The Jets at Vegas.
Oh, this is rough. I'm gonna go with the home team.
We all pick Vegas. And then finally, Denver at Buffalo.
Say it again. Denver at Buffalo.
Correct.
Oh, Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo. We all pick Buffalo.
Did you say? Did you say let's go Buffalo? Okay.
Hey,
Well, look.
Buffalo.
First of all, my last wrap up or my last comment about week 9. We don't have our normal contributors at the moment tonight, but when they get a chance to see it, they'll know that I call them out because they specifically told me what Hertz would not be able to do against their team. And I think I just tried to make it clear that I just thought they had a little bit more team.
Did they say he wouldn't be able to do it,
They
or
said
they
because he was
said,
hurt. Yeah, they specifically addressed him being hurt
"Oh, this must have been after"? This was during the show, or after the show.
during the show in the comments.
Okay, I missed that. I thought they
Um,
were saying if he did this, then they would win, or if he didn't, then they would win. I thought they was basing their win off of his performance.
they were, but they acknowledged that him being hurt would be part of the vantage point.
All right. Yeah, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. It was a good game. I mean,
I definitely believe. I
what we
definitely
said it would
agree.
be. We said it would be.
We said it would definitely be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
That was never to. Here's the funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was never the argument that it
Correct.
wouldn't be a good game,
Correct.
right? The argument was I just said they wouldn't win,
Well,
and obviously a lot of other people felt that way,
just a little
right?
bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And then on a more casual moment, uh, PV won their homecoming. One of the greatest homecomings on earth occurred, and I survived. Um,
You made it through.
I made it through. I
Made,
made it to. I didn't even need a recovery day.
made it to the Texans game on Sunday.
Made it to the Texans game on Sunday,
Kept
and,
flying,
and
kept
you
riding
could
high.
and you couldn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
So, all right, here I'm going to read these comments because I was looking them up.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Receipts.
Brian Lilly said,
Receipts.
"I don't trust Jalen right now against the Cowboys,
Oh, okay.
based on what I have no clue because what was
Mm,
there not to trust?
mm,
He hasn't been looking good.
mm. Yeah, I
The
remember those.
turnovers this year against that Cowboys defense.
I remember. I remember
And
those.
how many turnovers did Jalen have against that Cowboys defense?
None. Yeah,
Zero.
none.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so Gonzalez said, Philly can fall, but they have home field advantage. I'd like Philly if Hurts starts off hard. So he was iffy, but he said his pick was Dallas. Defense gets on Hurts and pulls a win by 10.
It wasn't. It wasn't a win, and
It wasn't a win by 10.
it wasn't gonna be by 10. Yeah.
And he said Philly's DBs will crumble. And our tight ends are in a tandem in the mix.
Mm.
Miss Lou said, I trust the Cowboys on both sides of the ball.
You ain't getting them all. You getting them all. Okay.
And every last one of them. And Gonzalez came back and says, and when Dak uses his legs out of the pocket, he's successful. That part was true. He was successful.
Mm-hmm.
But the game requires more than him being successful.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, like I said, Philly wins.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I guess, my biggest thing, it's not even that they were going to pick Dallas. My biggest thing is what I said. I was like, you're not telling me what part that you're counting, that you're using a counter argument. Nobody was using.
Some of them did. A couple of those comments did. They gave specifics about the DBs and the tight ends. I heard some other stuff other than.
Well, he said that after like his 5th or 6th comment.
After you pressed them.
Yeah, because I was pressing. Like, come on.
But we're gonna give credit. When they join the show, it's banter. We back and forth. So after you pressed them, they settled in and gave some
I pushed them and they gave me a little bit more substance.
Some more suggestions that didn't pan out all the way. But I think
I think one comment was pretty good. It said they'll probably split. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I can see that.
And nothing wrong with it. Maybe. But let's get to the games we will talk about tonight. It's a very different week this week for me. Yeah. Because I wasn't as excited about the matchups.
There's a couple in there.
I like this first one, Cleveland versus Baltimore. I think it's amazing to see right now when we go into week 10, the entire AFC North is in the playoffs. Yeah. There's a lot to be said about that. And 3 of the teams have the exact same record.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually pretty cool. And two have to play each other. So we know that that will change immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And Deshaun is back. That's another quarterback who had a good Sunday that I didn't mention. So he also had a good game on Sunday and a win to
Mm-hmm.
go along with his good game.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think, though, in that matchup, even a division matchup, Baltimore has the stronger team at this time. Their defense is playing nasty, and with that, you giving plenty of time to Lamar to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going with that one. I'm picking Baltimore.
So on this one will be one of those good old time smash mouth football games. It's so unfortunate that Chubbs is hurt, and we're not seeing that running game versus this running game. It's not that Baltimore has a Chubbs, but their running game has been magnificent the last couple of weeks. Gus Edwards is running like he's Nick Chubbs or something like that. So it would be good to see these two offenses kind of go at it like that, because I think ultimately this game is going to be won in the trenches, which is what we always hear when we talk about old school football. It's going to be about that D line versus this O line on both sides of the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be whether the Cleveland D line can get to Lamar and slow that running game down, or get to Lamar, period,
I was going to
or
say, well, what about just getting to Lamar?
yeah, when I say the running game, I'm not talking about Lamar. I'm saying get to Lamar and slow the running backs down. Gus Edwards being one, because he's running great right now, and I don't think it's because he's so great. I think it's because that system is great and that line is great. But and then on the other side, will the Baltimore's defensive line be able to penetrate Cleveland to slow their run game down and kind of get to Deshaun. So this is going to be a good matchup. I'm with you though. I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Baltimore. I just think that they're right now just a little bit more complete team that I trust more. It was good to see Odell get back in the end zone last week. Get to celebrate
On
the
his
hill
birthday.
on his birthday. Yeah, good one. So yeah, I would love to see him get going too. But I think with each week, Baltimore is getting stronger. And I think they'll probably win that division. So I'm gonna lean towards them to win this game this week as well.
Okay, so my next game up is San Fran versus Jacksonville. And I'm kind of excited about this game, mainly because San Fran's coming back off a bye. They have some new pieces on defense. Let's see how all that works together. Obviously, San Fran has decided that the key for their team to win is through the defense. And that's okay. But that's obviously what they're saying when you trade for such powerful pieces, that you definitely want to make yourself known by your defense, not by your offense. And yes, there has been a slide back for San Fran in the win column. And here's my thing. I think that defense is good enough to give Lawrence some things to think about. But I think about, he is the one quarterback other than Deshaun that I would say is prepared to handle any type of defense that is coming at you,
Okay.
considering they are both quarterbacks who've won against an Alabama defense
Yeah.
when they needed to.
Yeah.
And so if there was any better matchup for this weekend that I would, love to see, it is that. And like I said, how does it look? Because the good thing is San Fran did it right with a bye. So they've
Mhm.
had a little time to adjust, even though you take your time off of the bye, but they've had a little time to adjust the rhythm, get more film time in for the guys. Even though
Mhm.
they're off, they can still look at film. So that to me will play a key part in this. And it's in Jacksonville, right?
That's correct.
And so I am right now, with all the weapons that Lawrence has, I'm still sticking with Jax for right now. I may think about it on Sunday, but I just don't want to give you trade and add to defense and now nobody can score on you. Purdy is still on their offense, and I feel like Jacksonville's defense has stepped up. I mean, obviously, since they got the beat down from the Texans, they figured out some kind of conversation And so our defense did a number on them, but it really wasn't even so much just the defense. We were just killing it on offense.
Yeah.
We just everything was there.
Yeah.
Deep breath, but what's your pick?
So yeah, on this one, I'm gonna go unconventional on you, right? So I'm not Xing this. I'm not gonna X and O this one. I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm a D Jones this one. You know, sometimes my thing is superstitions and different things like that, right?
Okay.
I'm playing the numbers on this. Jacksonville on the streak, winning. Niners on the streak, losing. I think the trains come. They
Collide
collide,
and
and I think
switch.
I think the Niners
Okay.
come out with this one just because they're coming from the bye week.
I
Uh,
like.
I do believe in their offense. I think they get some pieces healthy. I really I could switch on this on Sunday too, but it's really going to be if I switch, it's going to be because of the injury report, right? So if they don't get like Debo back and some of these guys that could be coming back after the bye week, then I may lean towards Jacksonville. But I think if they get a little bit more healthier on offense, I think adding Young on the defense is only going to help them. I don't think their defense is going to change. They're already strong. They just got to regroup
Mhm.
and then add that piece in here. And the piece and the position he plays, they'll bring him in and out. They'll be interchangeable. So I think that defense is solid. I think the offense just needs to get back on the right page. And I think that Jacksonville is one of those teams that they fortunate sometime, right? And I think this is one I think is going to come up against them. I think this is going to be another good game. I think the 4 games that we're really going to talk about are probably the best games of this week. But I'm gonna go San Francisco get back on track in the winning column, and then Jacksonville coming slightly down to earth with the loss this week.
Okay. I really can't complain about that. What did coach say?
Coach on this one picked San Francisco.
Okay. So right
Yeah.
now I'm solo. And
And
I'm
on
a
the Cleveland game, he picked Baltimore as well. So we all picked Baltimore. So,
okay.
mhm.
Now let's give him his little sprinkles. Y'all know Coach Pat does horrible in pick'em. He has found a way to be in third. And now he truly in third. See, last week he said he was in third, but he was tied in points, but he was really in fifth. But this
Mhm.
week he's really in third, and I just got to give him his third.
And I think it's
Okay.
the first time on the show I was in last place from the 3 of us.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was something new.
that's cool.
Um
I'm right there, though. I'm right behind him.
well,
He
it's
gonna take a
funny because
chance.
now we're 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
So that's even funnier.
yeah.
Um, but here's what's funny, and this is why I have to get on him about it. The reason he is in third, he could have still probably been in third. I don't know how the tiebreakers would have worked out,
Mhm.
but he forgot to pick the Monday night game. He didn't pick it. And I've been there. I've been there because it'll let you save without picking a game
Yep.
and you stuck and you don't even realize you haven't picked it till you go to look to see if you got the point. And
You ain't
it's a
do
dash, you
it.
know. So I
Hey,
was trying to figure out, like, because he picked Miami, where we all picked KC, but uh he picked Green Bay, where I picked
you picked the Rams,
the Rams. So I
and
couldn't
I
figure
changed it
out,
Sunday.
yeah, and I couldn't figure out how did we tie. Like I was like, why did we tie? And then I got all the way down to the end and saw he had a dash for the Chargers
Monday night.
game.
Yeah. So
And so I was like, ooh, he gonna be hot about that.
yeah.
But what I wanted to say, since we already did those games, I wanted to bring to your call on it. Ironically, they have San Francisco favored by 3,
Hmm.
which is dang near even.
Well, on the
That's
road,
pretty good.
that's
I
good. Yeah,
mean,
because they normally give the home team, a little bump. So that 3 is kind of almost 5, 6. It's kind of
yeah,
yeah,
I guess you could say that on the upside.
yeah,
So the next game is not really a game to talk about, but I guess in a way it's a feel good game for Dallas.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I think Jones is out for the season.
yeah. ACL.
Um, not sure who they're starting at this point.
Because I think Tyrod's still on IR, right?
Yeah,
So they
and you
who
know,
forgot that
just
guy.
a tough break, but the spread is already 16.5. So this be another runaway game for them. Get back on track, you know, catch them a win. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about this game because we always show love to the great state of Texas. So yeah, Dallas win this game. 16 and a half line, huh?
Mm, it's literally 16 and a half.
Uh, I
That's
want
start. That's a pretty big line.
That's a big number. That's a big number, and yeah, it's
You don't
tempting.
even know what to say, huh?
It's tempting. You know, it's tempting. It's tempting to play that one. You know, with them points. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have to
Well,
talk to some of my friends that do this pretty often, but that's a lot.
so we're gonna head into this last game, which is obviously Houston versus Cincy, and ironically, it's even. So they gave us a. I think Sunday's game got them a little edgy, like
We
they
even
don't
on this?
know, huh?
They got us even numbers on this?
Yeah, let me check and see if it changed. Even,
Ooh,
literally, even,
interesting. Stroud effect.
and
The Stroud
they
effect.
have us as the favorite to win, even with the even.
It's probably depending on what line you're looking at. I'm looking at
Correct, but they have us even.
all right, because I see one that say 7.
You see one that say 7,
Yeah, it's 7 Cincinnati. That's
so
not
that's
that
a good one. I'll take 7.
7 is a lot. Now I might play that one. I might play that one. Give me them points. Give me them points. I don't know. I don't know if they'll
Well,
touch.
it's funny because our last couple of losses have only been field goal games.
Talk to me.
They've only been field goal games.
Talk to
And
me.
even with the spread for Tampa Bay, it was less than a field goal game. So to come in and give us double that, I would take those points too
Talk
all
to me.
day.
Talk to me. And you can move. You can move on Cincy. They in the bottom in offensive. I mean, in run and passing.
Correct.
So they defense is decent, but they ain't good this year. They haven't been playing well. Let's put it that way. So, no, we might have to talk about that.
Gonzalez, you made it. And you know, I called you out. You know, I had to call you out about your Dallas pick. I had to call in my receipts. Yes, yes, yes. Stroud is a phenomenal talent. Anyone who thinks otherwise should stop the presses right now. Hey, so let's finish. We're gonna finish our takes on this game,
Yeah, we
and
good.
then we'll go back to Stroud.
Mhm.
But for me, we're on the road, and we play well on the road. Like we're not getting dog walked on the road. We've had one bad road game, huh?
I say just one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even count Baltimore. I'm counting Carolina. But yeah.
that's the only game I was counting.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I'm with you.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, I know we have more road losses. I'm saying
That was
that's
the
when
only
we
game we
played
played
bad.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm gonna ride with the phenomenal talent and give them a chance. I think they want to go out there and grab one.
Ooh. I
So
love
I'm
it.
taking them.
I love it. I
I'm
love
taking
it.
them.
I
What
love
about
it.
you?
I'm picking Cincinnati. So,
Okay.
so yeah. Now
Hey, everybody didn't believe me when I picked San Fran at home. So
hey, I ain't tripping on it. Like I say, I'm saying Cincinnati on this show and probably on the Pick'em League game, but I'm serious. I might have to drop a couple coins on them boys from Kirby just to cover that 7 point if that's what the spread is going to be. But yeah, I believe I do believe I think 7 is him, as we talked about in probably exhaust on Sunday. And I think we got a shot to win pretty much every game we play. But at the same time, the dude on the other side is a serious problem.
he can slice up a defense
He's a
himself.
serious problem, and he's healthier. He's healthy. Him and Chase are connecting the way that they supposed to connect. Mixon gives me nightmares coming out the backfield, because if we don't finally get, it took us even 3 quarters to get a linebacker on the back out of the backfield this Sunday. So that kind of still, makes me quiver a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati in what Coach would call a field goal game here. I think if we lose again, it's gonna be one of those close ones. I don't think they're gonna beat us by a touchdown. No.
Well, my other way of looking at this game, kind of like you just did the previous game with the 49ers and the Jags. One's on a winning streak and
Mm-hmm.
one was on a losing streak. Well,
Mm-hmm.
since they've been riding high for a minute
Mm-hmm.
and they've been, putting some dog fight numbers up against people we expected better games out of, the
Yeah.
49ers, the Bills. So it's not like they just been, playing teams that aren't competitive.
Yeah.
But I think we can sneak us one out.
Yeah.
And so that was part of my other thing about it too. They riding high on a win streak. And it seemed like everybody who's been on a good little win streak had to get knocked off they rails.
I think the only thing I would tell you in that is everybody see us coming now. I mean, they
You
see
think?
us,
You
man.
think?
They see them. They see seven. They see seven. So it's going to be interesting to see what they try to do. I was listening to a local show with Coach Ryan's on it, and he talked about, how the defenses are going to he expect them to try to disguise, against CJ, but their coordinator kind of plays this similar defense or from the same cloth as Todd Bowles that we just saw in Tampa Bay. So hopefully what he just saw last week and didn't have a problem with, if he may see some of those same types of looks and coverages and disguises this week. And if that's what they do, good luck to them. But I don't think we sneaking up on anybody anymore. So I think CJ definitely has the attention of everybody in the league. When LeBron and everybody else is tweeting about you after your game, you start getting noticed. So I think that'll be the one thing. But I'm with you. I just don't think we're gonna sneak up on them.
Well, I think my boy Oville made a good point.
Yeah.
Are we ready to play good, after having success?
Yeah.
We beat down the Steelers, and Jags, but I would like to get us a win against a team that everybody expects us to lose against.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think I agree, Coach Pat. If you get some time, Coach Pat shows you how you really need to be dressed for day one of your cruise. If you like entanglements. So y'all need to check out Coach Pat. He killing it. I think he made it his profile picture. So you could just head right on over to Brandon Patterson's social media. You can check out that profile pic.
Go get that boy.
And if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna send it to you, because Coach Pat gonna be the new model. But all he needed was a drink with an umbrella. Viral. Viral. You drink with an umbrella.
Either that or a Dusty Baker toothpick ain't out his mouth.
Yeah, one of the two. One of the two.
But say that.
You need to do that in the photo shoot. You need to get you one in like Christmas colors. That's what we need. Oh, I'm sorry, Oville. We kill your whole body.
Yeah, go get
it. Wait. He said he had a drink with an umbrella. See, I was foreshadowing it.
You was in there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. You was rocking it for real for some entanglements. We got to get that picture for Gonzalez, though. Man, we got to get that picture for Gonzalez. Yeah. Gonzalez, that content was there for you. It was there for the taking.
We're having
it. But
He saw it. He saw it. He saw it.
He saw it.
He
He
saw it. What you say
saw
that?
it.
Why?
Oh man, I'm telling y'all gotta check my boy out because he killed it. And
Man.
you know what? You know what's really great about it though? There are things men refuse to wear. They they put on this list of things they will not wear. But as soon as you create that list of things you will not wear, there will come times that you're gonna feel your flyest in those things. And Coach Pat wanted y'all to know he was fly. You couldn't tell him nothing.
Huh.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like he was straight on Delta.
All day. But anyway, we gonna take it back. We're gonna take it back to Oville's comment. He said he thought I was a serious statement about to come after reviewing film or something, but
Yeah.
you know, we like to have fun sometimes. It breaks up the moment and gives us a good time. And I feel like because you know the team lost in Carolina, you didn't get to really share your experience of your North Carolina road trip. And so I wanted to follow back up with you on that. And I'll share with you, you know, my insight when I took my trip. And then you can, you know, give me yours because back then I went to Bojangles to try the chicken.
Yeah.
Just you know, to get it in there. Like I've had it before in the airport, but to actually get it in North Carolina. And we walked up on a Greek fest in the park when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good time at that. And at the time, one of the spouses, the husband, because I can't remember, I think Peter is his name. He had a restaurant in North Carolina and we hung out and ate at the restaurant and just, you know, did some downtown things there. But Bank of America Stadium to me reminded me of like somewhere between Jacksonville State, well, Jacksonville Stadium, and you never been to San Diego, but it wasn't a great stadium,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't an awful stadium,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so if you haven't been to either one of those stadiums, instead of me trying to use those as examples, I would just say it's not great, but it's not terrible. Like there wasn't much that I was just like in love with, you know,
Yeah.
because your downtown was probably the best part about it, and it's close to just like, do they still have the lawn
Yeah.
area on game day?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, okay, in front of that high rise and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, that was my take. I love the intro. I love who gets to figure out who hit
The key pound and the
the key.
drum.
Yeah.
They was actually, it was their Ring of Honor day, so they actually put in two guys at the same time, Hussein Muhammad and Julius Peppers.
Okay. So
So
cool.
yeah, that was cool. So they both were there, and they banged the drum, and then they did their Ring of Honor at halftime. Um, but it's all right. My first meal there was Bojangles. So I tried that out, and I was like, okay, it's chicken. You know what I mean? It was good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was cool. We did stay downtown. We was walkable distance to the stadium, so that was real cool. Like you said, it was Halloween weekend, so that Saturday it was a lot of parties downtown. So it was good to see the
Okay.
people kind of dressed up. They dressed up all day, so it was
Did
good
you
to
party
see.
hop?
No, we didn't. We kind of drove through it and just to see what was going on, but we didn't get out too much that day because we went to a national park right at the border of South Carolina and North Carolina, and did a little hike there. Which your boy don't do that, but I was with Doc,
Good
Doc and
job.
Rafa, and it was fun. It was a good time. It was. I was glad I didn't stay back. It was a good time hanging with them, some fellow fans. And we caught a couple of other restaurants that was close by. One Culinary Dropouts was really, really good. It was fairly new, and I think that's the only one that they had in Charlotte. But
Okay.
food there was real good. I think we actually ate there after the game again on Sunday before we flew out. But I agree with you about the stadium. I thought the stadium, the city itself is a beautiful city. I'll say that it was. I was very impressed with the city. It was very very nice place. The stadium was okay. It didn't wow me. It wasn't like wow, this is a great place. Um, but it wasn't horrible either, right? It
Right.
wasn't it wasn't Washington Stadium or anything like that.
That's the
So
one I was thinking of.
I
Yeah.
think I think you comparing it to Jacksonville is probably spot on with me. As far as the stadium piece, I feel like their concourse and their concessions and stuff was better. It was 10 times better than Jacksonville's area. But as
Yeah.
far as the inside, the bowl, the view of the game, the feel of the game, it was good. I did have I've sat in end zone with you guys before. I did have a hard time seeing the game in the sense. And I think it's because the way that the stadium is positioned and the way that the sun moves throughout the day, the sun was behind us, and it was almost like you would think that would be better, but it messed with my depth of perception a lot. Even when I was trying to just look at it on the jumbotron, I couldn't really focus in real good on it, and that could have been why I felt like I had bad energy in the game. But it was a great experience. People were great. We didn't have any hecklers. We had one guy that was talking to us on our way in, but we had a intelligent football conversation. He likes CJ, and all of that. And so it was a good experience. I definitely would go back to Charlotte. Even just to visit.
Okay.
Um, but the game was fun. I probably would just sit somewhere else next time. I don't know if I would sit in that end zone, um, just to get a different view of the game.
So I actually didn't sit in the end zone there.
Yeah. See.
And Steph Curry was our pounder.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
because our game was at the beginning of the season, so it was 8 years ago to your game.
Okay.
So good to see things are still good in the city. All
Now,
right.
two things,
Well,
two more things, and I'll let you go.
okay.
One thing that took me by surprise that I had not seen yet is an invocation before the game. Um, Everyone rised, and they actually had someone come in and pray,
Okay.
which I thought was pretty cool. And it wasn't like super early; it was like before they started really ramping things up after the players had warmed up. So that was cool. I hadn't seen that before, and I definitely a man of the word. I respected that. Another thing is I was super shocked that Jake Delhomme is in their ring of honor. Yeah, let that sit. Marinate on that.
Interesting.
Jake Delhomme is in the ring of honor there.
Well, if we could just get Jimmy Johnson in the Cowboys Ring of Honor, all will be right. All will be right with the Ring of Honors, right?
I, would it? Would it?
That is
I was.
interesting. I'm gonna have to go look that up. I
It's
need to
in.
go. I'm not saying it's not. He's not in the Ring of Honor in North
No,
Carolina.
no.
I'm gonna go look up those stats to see. Uh,
Well,
yeah.
he
What?
he took them technically. I guess he took them to their first Super Bowl, which is what one of the fans told me. Which is that was all he gave me. I was like, Jake
But
Delhomme. He
there were
was
other
like,
people on the. Okay.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was another quarterback involved that
I mean, I mean,
and I don't mean like another quarterback. I mean, my point is, well, I have no point because I'm just lost.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I totally missed that.
No, not for that. If you're talking about for that, nah, I definitely saw that. And
Did you spell his name right? Like, you sure you got the right last name?
not
You
only
sure?
not only that, but he was there for the induction of the other ones, and they acknowledged him. So yeah, I was just really surprised.
That
That was
was
that
phone a friend.
that made me respect the Texans organization for being very selective in who they get in their ring of honor. So, but yeah,
Well,
yeah.
in that note, I just want to give a highlight to my nephew as he starts his quest for a second state championship this weekend. He was player of the game last week in his last regular season senior year football game. He had an interception first play of the game.
Come
I
on now,
told him, I was like, say, man, can you
right?
stop getting these interceptions? while I'm, not at the game? What you say? Say again.
I say you need to stop missing them. Don't tell him not stop doing them.
Well, it was on a Thursday and it was a away game,
I,
and I was prepping for homecoming because Auntie still has a life.
excuses, and nephew still got to get these picks.
So it's not an excuse. It's just the way it is.
Hey, don't tell me out.
But anyway, that's fine. And Brandon over here trying to help justify talking about he led the stats. We didn't say he didn't. That's
a stat leader every year. You gonna put them in the in the ring of honor.
No. Yeah, good for that. No. But I'm happy you got another stadium in. It felt weird to call you as you're heading to a game. That normally doesn't happen. But but good for you.
Nah, I appreciate it.
I'm headed to see Colorado's last home game for the season as well. And my nephew's playoff game, as you say. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
And we'll see how that goes as well. And Coach Pat, hopefully you'll join us next week in one of your fancy outfits. So Gonzalez can either have your toothpick or
umbrella drink.
Mm-hmm. So if y'all want to check out Coach Pat, check him out. Let's put his info up there so y'all can go see the infamous picture and get you a good look at Coach Pat and his. I want to know, where was you going? Where were you going? Because you really look like you should have been on a cruise.
Nah.
You still there, Coach Pat? You can tell us where were you going?
He's still there.
Why he figured that out, D. Jones, tell the people where they can find you and he can tell us where he was going.
Well, you can get me on Twitter or TikTok, that boy D Jones, or on Instagram, that boy D. Jones. Holla at your boy.
He said he was going to a party, guys. Oh, shoot. I believe Gonzalez. Gonzalez said you was headed to an entanglement. Not only was you headed to an entanglement, that entanglement was off Craigslist. So is Craigslist, wait, is that one step up or down from the back page, Gonzalez?
Say the back page. He used your word.
Oh, shoot. And look, for the people that asked me about the clear football purse, it is officially up and on the site and active. Thank you to the people that have already purchased one. You can still get you one. And so you don't have to keep, look, the other football purses work for more than just trying to take them to a game. They still fly. But if you're more concerned about clear bag policy and all of that, get the clear one. Me, I don't have a problem because, and this person shall remain nameless, but I'm going to bring up the scenario. I'm going to repeat again and ask you to go check out my YouTube or my TikTok and watch these videos. When you attend a game on the road, even at home, check the site to make sure of what you can bring into the game. That includes the size of the bag, the type of the bag that you want to bring.
Just because it's clear doesn't mean it's acceptable.
Exactly. Everything clear is not acceptable. Or you will be on your way back to your car or trashing your bag. And just so you know, they keep the stuff you put in the trash. They go through it and pick what they want all the time. So if you want to walk back to your car for a bag that's not worth more than what than the energy it will take, check the website of the stadium, arena, or ballpark before you leave. And if you're traveling from out of town, you should check it when you're packing your suitcase to make sure you travel with the appropriate bag. And on that note, tell the people where you can find me. Well, it's at thegransberry.com. And If you need to know anything else, it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at the Gransberry. And if you want to get steps in because you feel like you can't follow instructions or you just that fly, then do it. But if you are a friend of the Gransberry, you will never embarrass her by getting to that spot and looking that way. Right? All right, then. We'll catch y'all next time.
Sometimes they tell on themselves, don't
Peace.
they?